Good morning, everybody. My name is Richard Cotlow, the treasurer of the Town of Bethlehem Industrial Development Agency. This is our Finance Committee meeting for Thursday, August 14th. It's 8:30 in the morning. And I'll go around the table and have introductions for those that are here. You want to start?
Al Michaels, CFO.
Ted the Barbieri, member.
Victoria Storrs, member of the Finance Committee
And chair.
and chair of the IDA. Happy to cede this meeting to you, Dick. Thank you.
Kate Hedgeman, Executive Director and Counsel.
Okay, the meeting, we have a quorum. I think every member is present. So first order of business is second order of business, approval of the minutes, the September 19th Finance Committee. The minutes have been distributed. Any questions, comments?
I have no changes.
Ted moves.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Yeah. Aye.
Minutes are approved. Proposed budget. It's a pretty big spreadsheet. If we start with the revenues, I'm just gonna, I think we have a placeholder for PSCG, based upon what we assume is gonna be the agreement. And the revenues from income, and there's a small amount from our open projects. The other revenue is really interest income. We have 55,000 now projected. Do you think we can achieve that with a little high, maybe?
That might be a little high
For what are we talking about?
for interest income.
Interest
Oh,
income,
interest, okay.
With the rates and everything, I would think maybe
45.
45 or 48.
Why don't we reduce that to 45?
Yeah.
We are renewing our M&T they gave us 9 months.
Yeah, 3.2 something with the collateral, obviously that's a good rate.
But when we roll our others, I don't know, well, I would expect within the next few weeks,
That helps.
rates are gonna go down significantly.
We'll
So
have-
Can you read that?
No.
I would imagine we're gonna be lucky on renewals of those 2-3%.
Yeah.
So I guess I would say our salad years are over. For the time being. Any comments? You put in the we don't have anything on the table as far as a project.
I'm talking with a couple folks about potential projects,
Uh-huh.
but I don't know, it's definitely probably a closing within 2026 if it happens. So we're just in preliminary stages.
Mhm.
So there could be at least one. We'll have the income from PSEG, which is 125.
Yeah, we just mentioned that.
Okay, yeah.
That's
So those are the only two I know of right now. So, and I really don't know what size the other project would necessarily be, so.
So we gotta get Chris healthy and working.
Yeah,
There we
yeah.
go.
Well, I have more on that in a little bit, but yeah.
Okay.
So on the energy reimbursement, while we've extended the Bethlehem Energy pilot through the end of 2026.
Mhm.
The current plan is for the variable energy reimbursement based on the amount they produce to convert to a set fee
Right.
to the IDA. So I think looking ahead, we don't want to see that there. We anticipate that relationship is going to continue if all goes well, but it's not going to take the form that it did before.
Right.
But
So let's not call it energy reimbursement payment going forward.
we call it PSCG administrative fee.
Yeah, administration.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
Yep.
fine. And we,
Or Bethlehem Energy, I think
yeah.
PSEG is out of it.
Yep.
It's. So, thank you.
okay, so, but we have, what do we have, $25,000 in there for the new, a potential new project?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anything else in revenues? Okay, so we got expenses. Anything that you know in the normal course of business, is gonna change? Are we gonna say town of Bethlehem? Probably, I don't see where that would change at all,
No, I don't think so.
you know? I don't know what else. Your fee, CFO fee, special counsel, we really haven't done anything, which is good. We want to keep that in there.
Where is that? I'm
That's
looking.
$7,500 we put in a couple of years ago.
It's in the box right there.
Yeah,
So I would say no, and this goes to, and Victoria and I haven't even had a chance to talk really about it, but between adding all the activities that the marketing committee is gonna wanna do, website, market study, a lot of the business development meetings and different things, it is going to add to my time and over and above anything we've done before.
Mhm.
I have an associate working with me now, so we'll be able to handle that, but it's going to, not only do we need a marketing budget, and I have some numbers, but it's gonna increase what we're doing, and we've already picked up the special counsel, like
Yeah.
the legislative stuff, and some of the other things that might be more administrative to the organization.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think you need it in there. With projects and things, we've been reviewing them. We haven't really had anything that we've had to reach out for. Plus, you didn't reappoint them as of
Yeah.
March, I believe.
We didn't reappoint them, that we had it up, was there an ongoing contract?
Well, it's been around for over a decade. It was the same.
Is that right?
Yeah, and basically in the context of PSEG, I was just handling all of it.
Yeah.
We couldn't, we had some issues too with communication and getting answers and different things. So at the end of the day, I just wound up doing it. And I'm putting that, like, when we close, I'm billing them for that, not you.
My recommendation would be to take that out because the special counsel was for for anything that
Mhm.
didn't have to do with
The project.
a project. And looking back, I think we've almost never actually accessed that line.
I agree.
So let's just,
And quite frankly, if we needed something, we would tend to it. And if it's not budgeted, it's gotta be some sort of an emergency item anyhow. Okay, annual audit, what's professional services other?
It was
I see.
just a kind of a placeholder in case something came up.
Okay, so can I pass on marketing until we get through the other stuff?
Sure.
Okay, okay, so then we go down, I'm just looking at supplies. Anything new on conference fees or travel?
No, I think that that's about right. I was talking to Victoria too. I probably, if anything, won't be going to Otasaga, the Economic Development Conference, at least on an annual basis.
Mhm.
It's really for folks that are newer to IDAs and things, and the content, you know, hasn't been as strong, at least from what I'd be looking for. So, you know, if you leave it as is, it'll only probably get less, is my point, you know.
Mhm.
Where,
However, the number in proposed for 2026 is actually significantly below the actual year-to-date for 2025,
Okay,
looking
yeah.
at the QuickBooks. So I think that we should at least match the actual,
that's fine. That's okay.
and that's
Where's insurance?
5315, and that's through the end of July. So I put that up to say 6.
That's fine. That's good.
There's a line for insurance under operating expenditures.
Right.
I asked, and I think I
Okay, I
copied
see it.
Dick
Yeah.
on it to get, you know, some pricing, and he hasn't gotten back to me yet. But it was funny because he said, I don't think there's going to be any significant increases. And Dick's like, well, define significant. Like, what?
Yeah, significant to you and to me, maybe different.
Right, you know, so I'll follow up with him, but I would leave it for now, or maybe like a 3% increase or something that's just a placeholder if it goes up a little bit.
So
But we could always renew what we have. I think we wanted to see if there was a lower quote or something that.
That's right.
Yeah.
okay, so supplies and materials so far are 0 for 2025. So we can bump that down to 1,500.
Yeah.
It would be helpful to have year-to-date in here next time. Okay, so travel, I think we want to leave that alone.
I was looking for that.
EDC membership is 1,000, not 875. That's what we spent this year, so I think we need to bump that up. CEG membership is 25.95 this year. So assuming that they're going to increase it from, we could say, let's see, we had probably 25.75, 20. You know, I can't see actual going very far back, but we should at least bump CEG up to what we paid in 2025. We budgeted not much. So let's just say 2,600,
Okay.
unless we want to make it higher than that.
Well, I mean, we could always negotiate lower too, if we wanted to. They would take whatever we wanted.
You know what? Go for it. Okay, Bethlehem
If you let me
Chamber.
go for it, I'll guess, I will go. Not only will I do that, is I'll get us a free membership for the chamber too.
That would be good, actually.
I will talk to Mark.
Well, the chamber is the Bethlehem Chamber.
No,
Oh.
we should have for what we.
Oh, for,
For what we pay for
I see what
CEG,
you're saying.
We should have a free
Because
chamber.
CEG's at the chamber now.
And
Gotcha.
because it's ridiculous, we're a small organization.
That's a big whack.
What?
It's a big whack.
Yep.
Okay.
That
Thank
makes
you.
sense.
Madam Chairman, I am going to take that as my
All
takeaway.
right.
Yeah, I think that would be good.
We should have a free membership. It should include a
Right.
membership.
Correct.
Well, you know, there's a number of things that happen at the regional level through the Capital Region Chamber that would be helpful for us, especially as we begin marketing more.
Absolutely.
And the Bethlehem Chamber is great, they do a lot, but we have a regional presence.
Yeah, and there's no reason why, for what we are, the size, for what we're paying, okay?
Mhm.
For the, good, I don't have to say anymore.
Yep.
I'd be happy to take that responsibility.
Okay, so we still don't have anything we don't have anything in the budget for in-plan. We haven't renewed, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, because we really aren't going to be doing that in-house anymore.
Mhm.
We'll just hire out for that.
Is that a project by project?
Yeah,
Yep.
I think the plan was when John Taylor was here, that he would be using it to do some in-house stuff, and that really isn't right, am I thinking?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
absolutely the plan because he was familiar with the tool, but we never had a project actually submit an application fee and that in order for us to do the report. Now going forward, it's, I think, better to utilize, I hate that word, to use Brienne in, her real skill set rather than try to train her on in-plan.
In-plan was like R&D for us. We tried it.
Yeah.
It was R&D.
Yep. And if needed, you can pick it up, but
Bell's board.
yeah, Bella's board that had been 1,043 for 2025 year to date. Do we pay that as monthly or
It's
is
a
that
monthly
annual?
charge, it hits,
Okay.
we've got it on one of the credit cards, that and the QuickBooks, so
Okay.
that makes it easy.
Okay. Other operating expenses, that's 13,580.16. What's in that?
I didn't have the detailed budget. I didn't get it.
It was in Excel.
Okay, I have the,
There's tabs at the bottom.
oh, okay. maybe
Yeah.
that's- I've got, it's okay. You're waiting for Al, right?
If I'm not mistaken, no, I'm not 100% sure what's in that, actually. I have to go back and look at QuickBooks and see what's in there.
Yeah, for us, it's a large enough number that
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
we
no,
we
it's,
do need to know.
I'll pull that out when I get in the office and I'll shoot it out to everybody.
Thank you. So for right now, just to get to a balanced budget, what I would say is put in 15. It'd be easier to go down if we discover that those are not recurring.
Right.
So where we've got 2,060, let's just make that 15. And if some of those items belong in other categories, Dick, then we can move them without making a big bottom line difference. What do you think?
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Okay,
Business and economic.
what are we doing there? We've got a preliminary, is that going anywhere? I mean, is it, how much have we spent?
So from the P&L through July, we've spent 11,707, which makes me wonder.
That's just their bill or months where we didn't get bills from them.
Mhm.
Right, that's, I think, part of the question about what they're up to.
Yeah, we did just get another bill for CPL. Do you have a contract, like a contract summary of what's been paid out?
I can send you that.
Yeah, I think that's going to be really important.
In our budget, we had a continuation contract. To me, I think we can, I would like to discuss in the continuation contract and using that for a marketing budget.
The continuation, what is that? The
I don't know what it was, but we put
Oh.
something in, that's why we have so much money in the budget. Because we had some follow-up contract on,
It was for the industrial site inventory,
Yeah.
which CPL is working on.
Mhm.
Slowly, Al's going to get his information.
but we budgeted something else last year.
Yes,
I don't know, maybe, well, there's a lot of money.
it was our expectation that the CPL study would have been done by now, and that
Yes.
we would be taking the next step from there and asking,
We are there,
Yes.
and I'm talking to Rob after this,
Great.
but we're there, we're at that point. I just don't know if they've reached out to anyone yet or what the
Mhm.
feedback on that is, but the study is done.
great.
The study is done.
Yeah.
So the expectation was that once we had the study and the first efforts were made on communications with the landowners about, how to prioritize in terms of
Is that the
who's
second?
willing to develop, that was going to be, a marketing study or something like that as a follow-on. So that's why we had the 90,000 for 2025 was the remainder of the CPL contract, and then, I don't know, 30 or 40,000 to
Do
do.
something big, yeah.
Yeah, to push that out. So I'm, I think it's easier for us to have something in that line than to come back mid-year and say, oh, we want 50,000 for a study.
Okay, you guys are much more tuned to why we need the study than me. Okay, I look at,
Typically, in a number of cases, what a community will do is pair someone like CPL with an economic development firm, and CPL does what they're doing, which is looking at the sites, where can we get water, what's the zoning, and they provide information to an economic development consultant who looks at the area's demographics, what are the industries, what's the workforce like, where can they get trained, and what types of industries and businesses would therefore go in. And CPL is doing some of that, but not as much as if they had hired, a full-time economic development analyst. So that was our idea. And it's still a good one because you can get the engineering study, but you need to know then what to do with it. And then that becomes a tool. It's like, oh, we know that we're never going to get chip fab, but there might be a chip fab supply chain because everyone in the Capital Region wants chip fab. So I'm not betting the farm on that at all, but that's an example of what that marketing study would do, or the market study would do.
Same way, whatever Plug is doing in Vista, the old monolith site sits there. There's somebody came along and Plug needed, they'd be there to market and say, hey, there's a spot right there, right across the street, ready to go. So, it's just,
okay, but I don't know where our resources would be.
That's where
This is,
the project I mentioned is looking at.
yeah, I just wonder why we would spend our money to highlight that site. I don't.
It was my understanding that, so that the employers don't have to spend theirs, right?
Well, because they won't.
Yeah, right, because they're not gonna.
Employers?
Yeah,
So a
the people
potential-
we're attracting,
Yeah, a site
Applicants.
selector is going to be almost, it's very, very difficult to get their attention, especially with a small site, but regionally, when we can put together saying, okay, this is Bethlehem's workforce, and then we have access to the communities. It's like, what are the resources that we have to support a business? We can't answer that right now. We don't know.
Can we, okay, I would be, okay, and I'm just one voice, okay? Which is, and I'm not, as I say, I'm not buying or selling on this one. But it seems to me that if we were going to do that, our marketing committee would say, hey, we want to do this because it's going to do A, B, and C.
That's what I was gonna say.
Okay, and
The money should be there, but maybe it's just on.
that's what I said, that's how I started.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's,
that's
I
kind
would
of,
feel very good about that than saying, okay, we're just gonna do this
well,
study.
don't feel too good till you see the number I'm gonna ask for.
Why, I don't care, we have plenty of money. Go ahead,
You're welcome.
it doesn't.
Yeah. No, I see what you're saying. Technically, it's not industrial study, like the study is the study. It's,
Mhm.
it's the
Mhm.
follow-up that you're
Yeah.
talking about.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
Okay,
So do we want, I guess there's two questions, because I'm just right now recording. Do we leave any money? We should leave some in the business and economic development services.
well, first we gotta leave what we owe, what the balance of the contract,
Yeah,
Yeah, so
whatever that
sort of
is.
just leave that for now. And then I will ask Kate, what's marketing thinking about?
Okay, now let's talk about marketing.
okay. So at the last marketing committee meeting, and I know we discussed it a little bit, I think at the board meeting, what their thoughts were on where to take this. But so right now for our web updates and social media, New Ward is at $1,000 a month, I think. They talked about doing a new website and putting an RFP out for that. Generally speaking, I think that's probably, maybe a $10,000 or less type thing. They wanted to do the market study. We've started work on drafting an RFP for that. That could be, realistically, I think that could be anything from 25 to 35,000, but that might be high, but I just want to make sure that we're covered there. The outreach to and the events that they want to have with the Bethlehem Chamber and also with the other boards that are in the town, and have the ability to do the market or the outreach for the industrial, to get input on that, the industrial sites that Victoria was just talking about. That's added time to market that to the public if you want to get that input, so on and so forth. So my estimate is probably, I'm asking for 55 to 65,000 for all of that, with the thought that it could be less. I just really don't, until we have an RFP on the website and an RFP back for quotes on a market study, I really won't know exactly what it is.
Who's gonna champion all this work?
So Brienne, myself, and Chris in the marketing committee is going to handle that. And that's why I mentioned earlier, it's going to add more to my time and my associates' time to, oversee all of that. That wasn't in, what we did last year. So
That's a lot of work.
I know it is.
I don't.
But that being said, I think what the town and the marketing committee were talking about, because the town doesn't have a local development corp or its own ability to market, economic development initiatives or business initiatives, they, and IDAs and other counties and whatnot have taken on that role. So that's where the marketing committee is going with it.
So I'm going to go back a second to what I said. This is to me, this is my old business hat. When we used to do a budget, to me, this is R&D. Okay, we're going to spend money in 2026 to try to bring business into the town of Bethlehem. So we're going to spend $50,000 to see if we can generate business. So then we're going to have to say to the marketing committee, okay, we want 2 projects. Okay.
Right. What's the deliverable? Right.
Should we say, okay, we're going to do an R&D. We've built up enough reserves. So you guys can disagree with me, please, but we're going to have an R&D budget, but we want outcomes.
I think that's fair.
So what's your?
When you say R&D, you mean research and development,
Well,
but
it's
it's sort of
like
business development, right? Rainmaking.
Well, I look at, we're doing a new project, okay?
Yeah.
So I look at R&D in the part that we're spending money to see if we can develop business.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay? It is a marketing and business development budget, but we're saying we're moving a lot of resources here that we wouldn't necessarily spend in marketing for such a small community.
Well, yeah, and I agree with, I think, everything that you've said. And one of the things, and Brianne and I are meeting next week to talk about it too, there's different pockets. Like, for example, the lease on ShopRite that Price Chopper owns right now. They haven't really been able to get, that needs to get filled, or there needs to be something else going on there. And they've come to us a few times, and we've had a few meetings to kind of see how we could help. And so that's just one example of, taking inventory too. What do we have? that needs business development? And then what other things are we missing that we could attract to the town, and then exactly where? Is it industrial manufacturing? Is it, commercial retail? Is it office? What is it? So that's kind of where we're going with it.
If we do that,
Mhm.
okay, if we got, there's no economic benefit for the IDA for ShopRite to be occupied other than maybe the vitality of Vista.
Well, I think I disagree with that one,
Okay.
because if there's a fit up for a new tenant and or an investment in the building, he could reapply. That's why he came to us
We
anyway,
could.
for a pilot and or sales tax, or, whatever that is. That's just an example.
I know.
you
Well, I
know.
agree that it would be nice to have the rooms of Slingerland's occupied.
Hmm.
We have lots of rooms in Slingerland's.
Right.
Okay, so what's our budget?
So, yeah, that's what I said, 55 to 65, somewhere's in there. And then, as we get, like, when the website RFP comes back, we'll all discuss, what I mean? You'll all be involved in that process. We'll know what it's gonna cost. It could wind up being somewhat less, but I think the
Yeah.
number is pretty close to what I'm asking for,
Okay,
or what they're
Right.
asking.
can we, when we do present this, and when we're asking 55 to 65, can we have a subschedule of line items of
Sure,
how it's broken down?
I just wrote them all down right here.
Okay, good.
I agree with that in principle. There's something that I think we want to be mindful of, which is that when you're a consultant responding to an RFP, if you've got your wits about you, the first thing you do is go look at the IDA's budget, see how much they allocated, and then that's what you bid. I would like not to show our hand. I would like to have an appropriate amount budgeted, but not
Not
specific,
broken up.
not tell people,
Right.
we're gonna pay you 35,000, because then we'll never pay less than
Oh, no, no, no,
35,000. So,
We as the board should have a breakdown.
Absolutely,
I
yeah,
don't-
just for an internal discussion.
Yeah,
It's
sure.
one line item in the budget. No, I agree with
Yeah.
that.
When I was, a new client comes in, and they used to use XYZ company, the first thing I look at is, what was their professional fee?
Yeah.
If the number's big enough, I'm happy to talk to you. It's less than what I was getting, well.
Beep, I'm on vacation. Yeah.
You know what I used to
Yeah.
call that? The greater fool theory. Okay, because you go look at what they paid in the prior year,
mhm,
and the prior year guy was taking a bath.
Yeah,
Okay?
yeah.
But you're taking a bath, and then you go and you undercut the
Yeah.
prior year,
mhm.
and boy, that's
Yeah.
the greater fool theory.
There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's true. And,
but it's a
as
good
Kate
point.
said,
It's a good-
until the marketing committee has really sat down and thought about what they need, and the board has had more input, there could be a very wide range there.
I agree.
So what I would suggest is that we not be specific, because it really could be anything. Certainly we were very pleased with the last RFP when CPL came in below what we thought they were going to ask. And that's part of what gives us room to do this.
I think the other part of the value, like, okay, we're spending money and what's the value to the town too, is, Rob, from the planning perspective, doesn't necessarily have an outlet for, like, we would be helping if there was a public meeting on a particular project or a plan or whatever it is they're doing. We could help with having it on our website, pushing it out through social media. Like, it's a benefit to the entire department that we're part of, not just the IDA. And yeah, 10 years ago, when there was $0, we wouldn't have been doing something like
Right.
this. But I think, now we have the ability, and we can only spend money on certain things, and that is attraction and retention of business.
Mhm.
And so, there's
Yeah.
there's these ancillary benefits that the town gets for your work.
Okay.
So with regard to where that budget should go,
Mhm.
if we suddenly go from marketing and promotion budget from 5,500 to 65,000, I'm a little uncomfortable seeing that. So what I would recommend is that that be broken in between marketing and promotion of the IDA, which would be some of the direct things you were talking about. And then, estimates of what the range for an outside study might be go down where it has been before, which is the business and economic development services. Because it is business and economic development if we, do go through with the RFP and engage another outside firm.
Now, this is just off the cuff. Are we maybe in a position to adopt the budget in September?
We have one.
I mean, it's not like it, but I'm just.
The meeting is early though.
Okay.
It's September
That's right.
10th.
Yeah. No question.
I mean, if it's ready, I don't think anybody has a
Yeah.
problem with it.
I think we're ready to adopt the budget tomorrow if we see that.
Well, I only say that because all of a sudden, there's that point in time in October where you look up and go, oh my God, it's October 20th. And,
Right.
I never want to be late with anything.
I think we're ready, unless there's other things to discuss, we're ready. If you can put this stuff in a form so we can see the final outcome, we can do it. It's not.
I can put in, estimated numbers here in the spreadsheet.
You do that better than anybody.
The market study brings
We're
down,
trying to have our chair delegate too, right?
What's that?
Yes, yeah, and yet I suspected that I was going to be being the clerk, which is okay. I, live and breathe Excel.
so we're really taking out the bulk of the ask for marketing, which is the market study, out of the marketing line.
Okay, but
So,
wait. That's really part of the marketing line as far as I'm concerned.
right, but I'm just saying what marketing's gonna show then is probably 30,000
Mhm.
versus 60.
Mhm.
That's all I'm saying.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I can just write up a quick what that 30 is technically for.
So that goes up, that puts us into $170,512 deficiency. Unless we reduce, right now we've got 92,700 in the business and economic development services. A lot of that is supposed to go to CPL.
Well, we should only have in that the survey plus whatever balance on the contract is.
Yes, the balance on the contract for
Because everything else is
CPL.
gonna flow into this year.
And
Does that include money to the town? for
No.
Economic development.
That's already in here.
This is
Yeah,
the separate,
That's a separate line, town service.
It's $45,000.
okay,
always been separate.
okay.
Oh, right, I can't access my Bethlehem IDA email here because
Oh,
I can't remember the password.
Oh,
Or
What
No, for
what are
my-
you trying to get?
I'm, the last bill from CPL,
I can send it to stores if you want,
yes, thank you.
see if I got it.
I think it's 62 ZBM8.
Great, but that's not my personal password to get vstores@bethlehemida.com.
Oh, okay.
That's
I
been
got it.
missing.
I got
Well, what is your password so I can get in?
If I knew, I still wouldn't tell you.
What was the
it. I
password
just
you
sent it
just
to
shared?
stores.
The town. The town.
The town what?
What, so we can get on
The Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi.
May you say that one more time?
No. Oh, it's, I think it's
Maybe just show him the paper.
62 ZBM8, I believe. You can try that. I think that's it. I think that, but
Yeah, right. Okay.
trust me, I've made bigger mistakes.
I'm so never giving you any of my passwords, Dick,
That's okay.
because they'll be all over the internet.
I don't think so. Oh,
So I'm waiting
up
for.
until about
What?
20 years ago, AFM-CPA would get you into every one of my,
No,
yeah.
Thank you.
And then also I
that's
said,
better,
"No,
1, 2, 3, 4,
I better start,
or password.
Okay.
uh,
Wow. So I have not received an email from you. There it is.
Oh,
Did it work?
I haven't attempted yet.
Oh.
I'm gonna try.
All right, so total fee. Total fee, 78,050, 58% complete, total earned, 45,269, previous fee billing, 42,927. And this was for the period ending July, so there's a couple of things. Al, please look into that,
Yeah,
get that
that
done.
bill got recorded last week, so it's.
Yep. Okay, so I think what we want to show is how much is left. Ideally, that'll all get paid in 2025.
Yeah, that was my point.
I'm gonna have to put a math surcharge on your bill. I don't do math, no, I'm just kidding.
Just give it to Al, he can do
You
it.
don't want lawyers doing math.
Never, oh my God, no.
So what?
Well, if we
Doing
can't do
math.
math, what good are we?
That's right, yeah,
Like,
you know.
They say that all the time, and it's,
It's funny because
The worst.
like that was always my worst class in school, and with the real estate closings, you got to do the sheets and like it's but I got smart and hired somebody who does know how to do it. So
All right, so I bumped up the marketing and promotion to 30. And because we don't really know what the consultants will come in on, and what I would like to say officially is that following the marketing committee's guidance, we would do that study, and there might be, another one that we want to do. There might be
Yeah, I
another
mean-
follow-up we might want to, that would be in addition to the study. And
but they can
so,
always come back to
What's our
you're not
deficit?
getting any money.com over here and
You have
ask
a- you have a
for
deficit now?
117,812, if I put the business and economic development services down at 40,000.
117, it's $120,000.
Yeah.
And how much, as interest, you have 45,000?
for interest income.
Yes,
Okay.
so we've got, to a great extent, we're burning off the court fees.
Yeah.
That was such an important contribution to what we are now able to do.
Or plug fees also. Or
Mhm.
The plug project was great in that
Or-
we don't have to,
or the-
worry-
or
we don't
the,
have to worry about the reporting.
the power line.
The CHP.
CHPA.
Yeah, where did that come in? The fee income generally,
That would have been 2023 or 22.
the CHP,
power line?
power line?
Power line,
Was
yeah.
last
No, that
year.
was-
Last
Was
year.
that, what was it, 23?
It's 24, I think.
Mhm.
I thought I wrote those checks.
The power line was fine.
AC,
3 projects from heaven. Did you do?
or the other.
maybe that was
place. Or the other
2023.
place.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I
thought
would say, yeah.
I got to write those checks when I was still in the county.
Yeah,
Two of them was really nice.
and notice how we didn't ask you to add a zero when you were writing those checks. Notice that we didn't ask you to step out of your proper role.
Well, I always had two or three people countersign those checks.
And interest income.
Yep, so that's where that was.
No, we need to keep as much invested. That's a good,
No, between interest income, the port,
Mhm.
plug, and the power line, okay? That's,
Mhm.
so now we're taking that money and we're trying to bring in some business.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. and it's-
Okay, which makes all the sense in the world.
You
Mhm.
you could sit on everything you got and just, but nothing's gonna happen. You spend a little money and,
Oh, you wait
right,
till I come forward with the next one in January.
The next part.
Idea.
Yep.
Okay, well,
Okay,
right.
so.
Well, you know, my idea, I want to buy some of the land.
So we're spreading the marketing budget between the line marketing and
Yeah.
promotion of IDA and business and economic development services, and we've got 40 in business and economic development, which I would say we anticipate would cover both the study that marketing is considering and all it will recommend, and also some kind of follow-up rather than saying, oh, you know, that's our cap or our max on that study.
We should live so long that will follow
Well, hey, you know, we really will.
up. Okay, live that long, okay.
Yes, that's the plan. And so what we don't have in here is recognition of how this additional activity is going to affect the executive director.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna write up a little something on that, but the industrial study outreach, Brianne and I would have to work on the marketing, all the work we just talked about. We already picked up the legislative piece of it that was under the special counsel role. And there's actually a lot going on with regard to IDAs and the legislature. And the other thing that, I don't know what your thoughts are, but, you know, I think the Albany County IDA meetings should be monitored and or attended, even if it's online, watching online, to make sure that we kind of know what's going on. We can look at the agenda and make a decision, but a lot of times it's sort of that.
Yeah, I was a little bit, I was thankful for Brian to forward the minutes, and I did watch them, as you know.
Yeah.
But it seemed to me that, from my perspective, I thought it was wrong that we weren't given advance notice and invited to it, because we are an integral part of that project. And I think it's almost rude that we weren't, that we
We're
weren't,
talking historically.
when they had plugged,
Yeah.
give a project status
Yeah,
report.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah, I don't think, if I had to guess, I don't think it was a purposeful snub. I just think it just didn't cross their mind. It just doesn't, like, with anything that goes
I
on.
know, I
In
never thought it
confidence.
was, I didn't think it was purposeful. Okay, I never
Yeah.
thought that, but I
Yeah.
think it's still.
Right, it would be good practice, I guess, is,
Okay, but
yeah.
it was really wrong that we weren't informed.
Well, that's why I say, and it may even, depending upon what it is, warrant either me or my associate going, or at least tuning into the, video as it's
Mhm.
played. So that was something that came up. So I'm gonna think about it a little bit more, but, I was estimating it's probably gonna add 10 to 15 hours a month to what we're doing currently, roughly. And then if you translate that into hourly, which was like, I think 275 or whatever it was, I can't remember. It was about 2,500 to 3,000 more a month, something like that. If you look at it that way, but,
That's another 66 grand.
36.
36, yeah, 66, that's too much.
Yeah, I think that's,
That's crazy. No.
because I don't think everything is edited. I
What do you
mean, I don't think it's just addition. It's
Right,
not
right,
all-
it's, yeah,
There is work to be done, and, how you allocate your time.
right.
Okay? So we need that number.
So the contract right now is at 95. That would bump up the executive director and counsel to 131. Part of that,
Well, no,
Is admin with the document retention and all that, yeah.
but so we had over 7,500 for special counsel. That's now going in there. So it's really,
21, 23.
yeah, it's, 28.5 has to do with the marketing because she's absorbing things that our special counsel used to do.
Not only that, and this is just Brienne relies a lot more on me than John would have, because not necessarily the planning background. So we've had a couple of inquiries on potential attraction of projects, and I absolutely have to go and be
Right.
there. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yep.
So whereas John used to be able to handle a lot of that, and only pull me in when, he felt that it was time or we needed to, or,
Yep.
So, it's okay. And then that, I'm glad to finally have an associate who's awesome and can handle other stuff while I'm doing what I need to do. So.
It's always nice if we have projects.
Well, we're working on it. Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
Although the year Vista was going on, that must have been because I came in right at the end of that. That must have been a whiz banger.
Oh, yeah,
that was
trying to
like
get that done. Yeah.
going from 0 to 90 miles an hour in a 10-year-old Yugo. It was just, whoa.
I mean, the other thing Kevin O'Connor mentioned on the county call this week was, because Brianne mentioned we're completing the industrial site. And he said, listen, if you wind up getting some inquiries or have some potential projects, we have $1 million in whatever in funding for manufacturing / industrial that's available. So if someone, is looking to do that, call us and we'll see if we can plug it into whatever you're thinking. And so we were both like, oh, because we didn't know. And that's the whole point of being at those meetings.
Yeah.
And, at least if I can't, Brianne will do it, and we'll know that. So, but yeah, we're working on a few things because, you need to continue to bring in revenue too to the IDA.
That's my point.
Yeah, so.
Yeah,
And you
there's
got-
yeah, I mean, we're in a good spot for a little bit right now because we do have some excess funds over
Retained
our, we have retained earnings, there you go. So, I'm perfectly happy to put in, to add that to the services contract for the budget for the full board to approve. And they'll hear Kate talk about, what's going on and why that ask is there. And let the full board hear that. But that's just me speaking here as one member of the committee. One thing that is underpinning all of this is our relationship with the town. The town of Bethlehem, Rob Leslie is technically the director of economic development. He's a planner. And there's things he does extraordinarily well, and it's really terrific to work with him on those things. He's not an economic development person. And even if he were, he wouldn't have the time. And so, because the IDA has been pretty well funded over the past couple of years, what we are moving toward is being the economic development organization for the town rather than the financial assistance organization for the town. And that's a trend throughout New York State. IDAs are evolving in that direction, and we're not the only ones doing it. But right now, we are still in a relationship where, even though we're becoming the economic development arm of the town, we are paying the town for that privilege. And one of the reasons why I want to see more projects is that down the road, I think we need to invert that relationship, where we have the institutional understanding, where we have board members who are thinking economic development, then we're an asset rather than a revenue stream for the town, and they should be supporting it. But I don't think we can make that case in 2026. I think if we get a couple of projects,
One thing.
then we can say that.
Yeah, one thing that we did learn at Otisaga, I think, from one of the presentations, was the trend of IDAs moving into this role, especially where municipal, everything's getting tight. And there's really no budget for a lot of, the marketing of what, business and attraction. So, I think, there's a lot we could be doing here in the town, and the marketing committee, has discussed a lot of that. But one-stop shopping too, another area we could help is with the micro enterprise loans and having the ability to, not the IDA, but, help administer that and help, get people to apply and, all of that. And that's really what most municipalities are going to, is the one-stop shop, sort of under the economic development office of the municipality.
Mhm. Yeah, and sometimes there are, multiple subgroups, like Dutchess County.
Mhm.
Think Dutchess
Yeah.
is not like a county department.
That's more of a tourism / business retention and attraction, I think, yeah.
Yeah, and their IDA is under that, and they have an LDC and an EDC, and that's a whole
Maybe
county.
we've underestimated tourism in the, I'm
Well,
kidding.
the rail trail might be quiet. in
That's
the
true,
heat,
that's the
but,
extent of our tourism. Hey, we're from Albany and we're on the rail
Well, look
trail.
at the county just put an outhouse by our house.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
and they got an outhouse there, they're gonna have that choo-choo train station
Mhm.
where people can lounge. And we're gonna have all the bums are gonna be able to move right into Slingerlands.
There's a huge barn that I guess the
Oh,
county's been there
yeah,
since the
that's
40s.
Oh, yeah.
awesome.
What the hell is going in there?
The old new
I
barn.
think they're gonna put
New
like
old
some
barn.
sort of cafe type, yeah.
We're gonna have.
But that's Voorheesville, I
That's
think.
Voorheesville, yeah,
Yeah.
of course, that's beyond our borders,
Yeah.
unless we annex
Oh,
them.
that barn,
Right.
that barn. I'm talking about the choo-choo train.
Yeah,
No, I know
no,
what
you're
you're
talking
talking
about,
about.
good.
In Slingerlands,
Yeah.
right there by the outhouse.
And we can't get someone in Tollgate to sell us ice cream,
Right.
like,
Well, we're working on that.
Yeah, yeah, I think this is part of, the market study is, to raise the profile.
Mhm.
So,
So,
if I add, the ask to the professional services contract for executive director and council, then our projected deficit is 150,962. And our fund, what's our
that's a
fund
lot,
balance?
it's not even close to that, it's less than 10%. It's only 27.
Yeah, I don't have that here.
I don't have it down, actually, those emails are erased, for some reason or the Bell's board drops my emails quickly. Yeah, they might be somewhere else that I don't know.
So,
Procedurally, do we have a committee vote?
Yeah,
A
I just
Committee
don't,
recommendation that goes to the board, and then the board approves?
yeah,
That's, and if it's a committee recommendation, we don't need a second.
well, I think usually what we do is we see an amended of what you discussed here.
Right.
And then if you're comfortable with it, it can go right back, it can go to the board or it can come back, it's up to you.
Right. We gotta see the,
I meant to ask for a TV in here. So,
Like a big screen to connect to.
yeah. Absent that, I can, Dick, if you want to take a look at my screen, I know it's the
Yeah,
old fashioned
and for
mouse.
some reason,
So this is what these are the changes that we've talked about. And you can, there's the mouse or whatever you want to use to scroll down to the bottom line. At least I think I've accurately reflected our discussion.
Thank you for note taking among your other contributions.
But we don't know what's in other operating expenses.
But that, I've got two things when I get back to the office, I'll shoot you by 1 o'clock.
Okay.
And,
I wonder if one of the payments to CPL went in there.
I don't think so, but I gotta look and see.
So that's,
Is QuickBooks static or is it accessible online? Just curious.
We have an outline.
Yeah, okay.
Well, we could do that here. I'm logged on to the town. I just don't remember my password or anything.
I hate to say, but I know mine because my computer knows mine.
Yep.
Now, I have it written down somewhere safe, but not on me.
Mm-hmm.
We put in a new server and workstations last month. What a joy that is.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
After moving the other ones across the building, from one side of the building to the other. So I'm very comfortable with our IT people.
It just came out and I haven't had a chance, but there's new cybersecurity legislation for municipalities
Oh, no.
and requirements, policies. And so once I've digested it, I'm going to send it to governance and see what we need to do. I actually sent it to all my municipal clients, including David, because what I was finding is David and the town didn't know some of the legislation that was out there, so I sent it over.
Yeah.
Among other municipalities that had no idea. But it does pertain to us as a public authority, so.
Well, I have a client that is regularly experiencing cyber attacks. So we have developed a variety of workarounds for when their email goes down for a day.
Yeah, there's now reporting requirements and stuff. So.
Yeah.
To whom? From the state? Like FBI?
Homeland.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I look
Well,
Great.
I look
Yeah,
at the
that's
budget,
actually
I know, Ted.
reasonable.
Yeah, it's.
the two
The
items.
state's requiring cities to report to the feds?
That's
no,
actually an
state
odd.
Homeland.
State homeland,
Oh,
right?
right, yeah. I can't imagine New York would.
Yeah, personally.
Ransomware payments, if you
Yeah.
had to make them, it's interesting. It's very interesting.
The two things that I think that we need to
Transparency.
have if we're gonna present this to the board, we need significant information for justification for your fee of $131,000. Okay. Fortunately, David's not here, so you won't have the details. But I think that that needs to be presented in an orderly way, that this is what it's gonna be for and how it's gonna, and the business and economic development, I think you're gonna have to, if you could please give up. Other than that, there's really nothing,
Okay.
the $30,000 for Chris, we've already, as a board, we've already discussed that we're gonna have a budget for money,
Yes.
okay?
Yep.
It's not, that shouldn't be any revelation. And the other discussion that I think we should do is we should have outcomes that, we're hoping to have. And, we have $25,000 in here for a new project, but that really doesn't cut it, okay?
No.
Isn't the Bethlehem Energy Administration fee, isn't that 125,000?
125.
You see, we have 80 in here.
Well, then go ahead and increase it.
That's assuming it's bad.
Well, I assume it's.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, we're
that
just,
would be helpful.
we're just waiting
You did that just to see if I even noticed. 125?
I'm hoping we can discuss it in October and it gets approved by the end of the year.
I mean,
I
that,
know, I'm always an optimist.
It's always due in January anyway, because you and I talked about that, so.
maybe we can find another 6,000 and make a nice round 100,000 deficit. Or you don't think we should do that?
We're looking at the couch cushions.
What? It's 105,000 deficit right now. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, you're activating my OCD.
The other thing is, the fact that it's in the budget doesn't mean it's going to be spent. Marketing, we're
Yeah.
not just gonna write a check January 2nd for
Right.
40,000.
You're gonna know, because you're gonna approve the proposals.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So
It's just more,
it's not like I'm sitting
Yeah.
there and be like, write this check, write this.
So there are a couple of things, thank you, Dick. I agree with your advice on how to present this to the full board. What I think we're going to do with regard to what I propose for the executive director and special counsel is that this is at least in part, if not in whole, because it's personnel, it can be discussed in an executive session.
That's
So
fine
let's
with
make sure
me,
we have that.
even though it's in there in the budget for everybody to see.
Yes, yeah, but, the exact tasks and what
That's
they're
good,
worth
that's good,
is-
that's okay. You know me about executive session, I do all of it.
Yeah, and, per my concerns about tipping our hat on what, because we really don't know what another study would be, it would be helpful if executive session legislation were updated so that you could discuss what you might pay for a study without tipping the consultants on what they need to bid. So, if you have a public discussion, we'll pay 30 to 40, they're all gonna bid 40 if they're paying attention. And I don't know if, my understanding is that the executive session rules right now would not allow us to have that be made private.
There's a possibility, there is one exception for trade secret or proprietary information, but I'd have to look at that. But I think that works
Yeah.
because it's competitive.
Don't
It's-
forget to turn the camera back on.
He said to the camera.
Okay, so
So, yeah, let's look into that.
That was a
And
hypothetical.
I think it's important for us because we don't do a lot of studies. So if we did, $1 million in, professional
Right.
consultants a year, they can't find out unless they're really, really paying attention. And even so, they might not. But here, I really, I want to be careful because I know I'm on the other side. I know what they're trying to find out and how they're going to use it. All right, so why don't I, while I'm here, because as soon as I get back to my desk, something's going to be on fire. I'm going to save this. And, I can't email it from my DA. This is something that really needs to get fixed. I need access to that email on my laptop. And it's, I just don't have it. So what I'm going, I'm not going to email that from my stores associates.
does HP still make laptops? Just wondering.
This one's kind of old.
Oh, it's
I
one.
think so.
You may license the intellectual property out.
Yeah.
To Dell.
Remember, everybody had Dells.
Mhm.
I have a nice Dell, I haven't touched it in years.
I had to think
What do
about
you
it.
do with it?
It just sits in a drawer. Everything's Apple now. I mean, I just use my iPads. I have 2 iPads. Kathy's got 2 of mine. I think the iPad's the best invention ever.
I had one that's like 13 years old, I can't kill it. I've got 2 or 3 since then, but it still sits there, and every so often I'll plug in the big headed charger on it, and 20 minutes later, it's all charged up, and it just does everything. And
iPad
it's
is,
just like, God, it's.
I'm in the poorhouse because now that technology is constantly changing. Oh, I want this gadget, I want this gadget, I want this, you know. My MacBook is 2 years old. I'm like,
Yeah.
Okay.
my computer on my desk is probably a good 4,
Yeah.
you know, like, what are you talking about? He's like, it's terrible, it's slow. I'm like, what?
I still have a little iPod, Bank of America. came
Yeah,
in
I used to
April
have,
15th and
yeah.
Gave us little, I don't know how many songs it holds,
I got drawers of them.
but
I got drawers.
You're a pack rat? Like, why don't you get rid of
No, I
that?
do get rid of them, but I got-
Recycling day.
I have iPods, I got iPhones, I have a couple burners. You have a burner?
I think I missed the interesting part of this
That's
conversation
awesome.
this
I
morning.
love that. Love that.
No,
There's a 2-minute deletion from
It
the
just got more
video feed.
interesting.
it's not illegal to have a burner. I never use it.
True.
Yeah, my granddaughter started school on Monday.
Florida?
What?
In Florida?
No, after trials and tribulations, she's enrolled in Tulane.
Oh,
Oh,
Um,
fun place.
She went to orientation at Penn State. She accepted Penn State, then she decided Tulane. It was almost Miami. She got what happened? She applied to too many schools. She couldn't.
decide.
Well, she got accepted in too many schools. But
yeah. I didn't apply to a ton, but basically it came down to who was going to pay me to go there. So
Smart.
when I went to law school, I had no undergrad. So law school was enough.
she used unfortunately, my granddaughter used the Mike Tucker method. The Mike Tucker method was after she went to orientation at Penn State, and she decided all of a sudden she woke up, she says, I really want to go to Tulane. So she called up Tulane and she said, I really want to come now. This is like a week before. And so it's Mike Tucker's situation. He says, you show up with a check.
Yeah.
She got accepted, but she showed up with it. So they're full freight. Karen is like, she got all these scholarships everywhere else. But she decided to want to go to explain for one of the most expensive schools there is, full freight.
My nephew did the same thing with Tulane Law.
It's supposed to be a great school. How do you do?
He did very well. The challenge for him was that he wanted to be in sports law. So he knew an awful lot about that, but there are no jobs. But he's doing really well in more general law and real estate and transactions. Has a good job, likes it, is very well regarded. Definitely using the education, but sports law is a dream.
Did he want to be an agent?
Not an
Should
agent,
we
but
adjourn the meeting?
we're going to
Why?
adjourn the meeting.
Okay, any other business?
Sorry, I forgot we were still on.
All right.
Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Well, I was gonna move that the committee approves the budget that we've discussed as pending the updates from Al and the updates that our chair is making,
That's fine.
so that the next time we meet with the board, we can move on this item with a committee recommendation based on the robust discussion we've had today.
Second?
Second?
Oh, favor aye. Okay. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Right, so that motion passes, and yeah, of course.
Yes,
Good
second.
meeting. Let's
I
adjourn.
second the
Okay.
motion to adjourn.
All right, so you can.
Without opposition.
Okay.
Yeah,
That concludes our meeting. And
Thank you.
Yeah.
thank you. We're just waiting for Excel. But that's okay.
waiting for the fact that my